Angelica's left me alone for a few hours while she's gone out to her mother's, and I thought, what am I going to do with myself? So what I decided I would do, because there are some things that I'm really missing food-wise from the UK, and one of those is sausages. If you're an expat living in the Philippines at present, you know exactly where I'm coming from if you're from the UK, and probably Australia as well, because the sausages are very similar. So all I can buy when I've looked around are in effect things that are like hot dogs. So I bought some the other day that said they were beef franks, which I thought, okay, beef franks, that sounds good, made with real Angus steak. Nah, it was just a big hot dog. So I thought, what am I going to do here? So there are solutions, and what I'm going to go into in detail in another video, where basically trying to source food from home, just so there's little things that you suddenly realize, I really want this. You can do without, but sometimes you just need. And there is an online store that I've discovered that stocks many things from the UK and US particularly. So let's go on to making the actual sausage. So first thing I did was go to the local mall this morning, to the supermarket, and I bought myself 700 grams. This is 500 here because we've used some on something else already, of ground pork, as they call it here. In the UK we call it minced pork. It looks a nice high fat content, 20% maybe plus, which is what you need for sausages, because else they just dry out. So got that. I've also bought myself some small onions and garlic, and I've used half an onion and also garlic, two cloves I've chopped up finely. And this one I'm going to put some mixed herbs. You can put whatever you like in, but I quite like a herby type sausage, which is going to give me something along the lines of like a Cumberland sausage, I hope. Black pepper. This is the other strange thing. Everything over here in the Philippines has loads of salt on it, no matter what you have. Yeah, if it's not salt, it's handfuls of sugar. What you don't seem to get is pepper. You don't get it in restaurants, you don't get it on the table. You know, it's very difficult to actually find it when you're out and about eating. I've actually resolved to take a small pepper pot with me in my back pocket when we go to restaurants, because I just like pepper on stuff. Yeah, so some black pepper, got some salt, little dish here. Now this is the other thing over here, the humidity is so high that everything goes into lumps very quickly. Even if you seal the bag, put it in an airtight container, just the amount of moisture in the air, everything just goes lumpy. So, okay, 1 egg is what I need also. Now what I've done as well, I brought quite a lot of spices with me from the UK, a lot of Indian spices, because I want to make some curries. And interesting enough, I've got an Indian neighbour and he's struggling to get hold of things, so I've actually been making my Indian neighbour curries, which I think that shows the connection between the UK and India there, yeah? He's a nice guy. Shout out to Camille. And I'll be making him a sag aloo later on, with trying to use a substitute for spinach, which I'm going to try and use like a Korean cabbage and see what that's like. So anyway, 1 egg. One egg. Another thing, the eggs over here, they're all white eggs. I've not seen a brown egg over here. Doesn't seem to make any difference in the taste, but hey. So, just got to wait for that to defrost a little bit longer, and then we're good to go. So we're just about ready to start the mix. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this camera set up right. So the first thing I want to do here is so we're just about ready. This is 99% defrosted. So I'm going to put the ingredients in. The onion and garlic. Crack the egg in. Put some salt, not much, I'm putting like half a teaspoonful, maybe not even that, because I don't like things over salty, but I know, you know, you don't get the flavours if you don't put enough in. Pepper wise, it says use a teaspoonful on one of the recipes I saw for different types of sausages. I think that's way too much pepper. So I'm basically going to put in just like the end of a teaspoonful. And I think that's plenty. You can always add more when you're eating one, you know. Right, mixed herbs. Again, I bought these from the UK, but you can buy a lot of different herbs in the Philippines. So, you know, next time you go to some of the big stores, just grab a few different things. So it says a teaspoonful on a couple of recipes. So just a generous one. I think also one thing I didn't mention earlier, which is quite important, help bind it together along with the egg, are the breadcrumbs. Now, interesting enough, it says, I'm going to use about half of this bag, I think. Doesn't actually dry it out. What it actually does is absorbs all the fat and keeps it together, the opposite to what people think. So let's pour in. There you go. It's about half that bag. Must remember to seal that up later, because another problem you get in the Philippines, especially out in the provinces, is if you leave anything out for more than 20 minutes, half an hour, you come back and you'll find it swarming with ants. I don't know where they come from, how they find stuff, but they do. They are amazing. So, okay, so now we've got everything there ready to mix up. So what I'm hoping is that some of you guys that are in the Philippines missing some of the different foods, I'm trying to find ways around making some of the things that I like from home. Another success I had, which I can do another video if people want, just put the comments on the blog below, are crumpets. If you're English, if you're from the UK, you will know what I'm talking about. It's like an English breakfast bread is the best way to describe it. But I very successfully made some crumpets yesterday, and they tasted as good as what you could buy in the shop, if not better, at home. So I'm quite pleased with that. Anyway, I digress. If you want a video of that, then please comment and I will do that, and quite happily put the method, etc., in the bottom of the comments. So this is still a little bit on the frozen side. I've started to mix it together initially. Now with this, you can make it all up, roll them out into sausages, and then wrap them individually in cling film and stick them in the freezer. That's what I'm intending to do with these. I'll cook one just to see what it tastes like, etc. But one of the problems we get in the provinces, and there's another word for the countryside in the Philippines, is that the power is not very stable. I've been back here now for about five weeks, and in that time, over 2 weeks, I was without power because of issues I had restoring the power after the major typhoon in December that hit the area, but also then another one knocked out a load of towers in the next island which supplies this one with power, and basically we had no power for another week. And I tell you, when you're trying to acclimatise, going ironically cold turkey, in this case very hot bloody turkey, is not the way to do it when you've got no power, so you can't even have a fan on. You can't obviously run your aircon. You know, a generator you can only run for a limited amount of time. They're very noisy also. So if you're in an area like we are at this moment, where we're in a small single-story house with neighbours either side, then yeah, it was not pleasant, I can tell you that. So anyway, this is just about defrosting properly. I'm going to let it go for another few minutes yet and defrost a bit more, and then when I come back, we'll start rolling them into sausages, and then let's cook and see what it's like. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing this together very soon. The mixed herbs I used, just in case anybody's interested, these were a combination of thyme, basil, marjoram and oregano, or if you're from the States, oregano. So you can use what you like. Sage would be a good one also. Sage and onion, of course, go together well. So let's start mixing this together. Now, other recipes I'm thinking of trying to recreate over here are things like cottage pie. For all you people that are not from the UK, a cottage pie and shepherd's pie is a very traditional meal. Basically, if it's a shepherd's pie, it's made with lamb mince or ground lamb. If it's a cottage pie, it's made with ground beef or minced beef. Basically, it's they call it a pie, but in effect it's just a meat mix with like a gravy, and then topped off with mashed potato, and then you have grated cheese over the top, and it's then baked in the oven. I'm sure I'm going to be able to find the ingredients I need to make it here. So this is starting to mix together quite well now. One thing to remember with this type of stuff, don't over mix it, because you're going to make the meat quite chewy and stuff. So we're there now, I would say. So it looks like a big sort of pate meatball. So what we need to do now is roll it out. Now, one thing, the apartment we've got here at present is quite small. It's difficult to get the camera angles right. So I'm going to start off just by taking like a palm size bit in my hand, start to form it, compress it just to get it to like stick together, and then basically I'm going to just keep rolling it, and don't really want to flour this in case it just changes the texture and stuff. Now I'm gradually sort of forming this shape by hand here, so we're getting there. Yeah, I would say that's a quite reasonable shape and size sausage. So I'm going to I will go ahead now and make the rest of these, and then when I come back we'll fry one up, and then we'll give it the all-important taste test and see what it's like. So I've rolled all the sausages out, and I've managed to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 out of a pound of mince, or a pound of ground beef, pork even, and as you can see, quite nice looking. So I've gone and heated up some oil in the pan, and I'm just going to fry one up as a tester, and the rest will be frozen down. I mean, you've got a choice, you can make them bigger or smaller, but I think that's quite an average size sausage. Is that right, Angelica? Obviously it's too small here. So we'll put that in and start to fry it up. Wash the hands. Bring the camera over so you can see the frying process. Just leave it in for a while just to start to brown off on one side. And let's just hope this has worked out. I hope you're watching this, Angelica, so you can make them for me.
Don't like it.
No, I know you don't, but I do. You've never tried one. So this one was cooking for about 5-6 minutes or so. You can do it to whatever you want as far as colour goes. Bit of English mustard with it and a bit of ketchup. So it's a bit on the hot side at present. Yes, and if you've noticed, I have changed my shirt because I've just been told we're going to a fiesta. 4-minute warning. We get more warning for nuclear attack. So also, if you want to check things, you could obviously use a food thermometer. Everything over 82 degrees and you're fine. So, right, let's give it the test. Yep. That's great. That is most definitely an English sausage. So, anyway, like and subscribe to the channel. Put comments if you'd like me to give demonstrations on how to cook other things, and hopefully next time I do my blog, I'll have a better selfie stick because it's starting to sink. So there you go, that's the inside of the sausage, looking very nice. Like and subscribe for the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.